Welcome to the bold analysis. I listened to the counter narrative from Kenya Kwanza team that Raila's on Raila's call for public gatherings on Wednesday. What other sections of media have reported as demonstration, and listening to the Kenya Kwanza's position on that, I feel they're not getting the context of that public gathering. I know that for the last time there was such a demonstration, it was also about IBC, and a host of Azimio leaders went to, I think, Anniversary Towers to protest about the same. It is in public domain that the discussion was centered on the Cherera 4. And Raila Odinga have said in different press releases that they are going to protest to stand in solidarity with the Cherera 4. And I think government, or rather William Ruto team, they seems to have been boxed in that one aspect. And so in this analysis, I think it's also, I find it right to put this gathering into a context and to see why exactly Raila is taking people to the streets, as other people have said. It's not about taking the people. We understand that the parliamentary process is underway on removal of the 4 Cherera and the team, the Cherera camp in IBC. And there is no election that is going to happen anytime soon apart from the by-elections or perhaps a referendum. So why do you think there is bit of that push to reconstitute IEBC on William Ruto's side? You may want to know. And so why is it also attracting such a very, it's attracting the interest from the Azimio wing? Now, this is a video of when Raila mingled with some members, let me call them some members of the public in Bondo, and was seen eating fish there. It was interesting. Someone shared the video and said he was showing people how to eat fish. Now, this is what Ruto is not seeing. When he got power and groomed himself, that power elevated him to the office of the presidency. He regroomed himself and pruned out the attire of the hustler. So what happened is the hustler posturing that was during the campaign mode, where you could see anakula mahindi pale, could see ananunua nguo, all that, the hustler image, he has lost it. He has lost the hustler image. And so, one thing that I think they are not seeing is the position of Raila is position of being with the people. And looking at even the cabinet, the way cabinet is constituted and government has been taking shape, the appointments, it is becoming open day and night that we are going to form government with or for the hustler was a big lie.
Na ndio sababu hii serikali tutabadilisha 2022 itakuwa serikali ya watu wadogo, serikali ya mahasla. Ndio Kenya hii iweze kubadilika. Hakuna vile umaskini itaendelea kama tutakuwa tunaongelea tu mambo ya watu wakubwa. Lazima tuongelee wale watu wamevaa viatu ya maskini, wajue ya kwamba mambo yao inashughulikiwa, inawekwa katika mjadala ya taifa la Kenya. Na hapo ndio mimi nimesimama. Liwe liwali, ikuwe mchana.
The literacy level in this country is high. What is in that video clip is the big problem that William Ruto is having. And misconstructing, or rather creating that narrative that it is about Raila Odinga. I've seen today a tweet, I think it's by Hussein Mohammed, saying that Ruto is saying that he will not be blackmailed to do what the other leader is saying. That's the tweet you're saying there. So from where he's seated, he wants to reduce that demonstration, rather that public gathering by Raila, to be a Raila thing. Yes, I don't want to dismiss. It can be a Raila thing, that in your maybe in your level you understand that maybe Raila wants a handshake or Raila wants that. It's fine. That could be it. But the truth position here is this is an opportunity that the hustler will use well to show and express his dissatisfaction. Because the promise, everything was promised. And if you refer to a clip, I think Raila spoke somewhere in Bondo. And if you refer to this clip, he was being asked about the public gathering and he was just trying to create the environment to explain more on that public gathering. He revealed about the issues about the cost of living.
And the information that I have is that life is very hard. The cost of living is very high. Employment is not available for most of the residents of this place here. And the basic price of basic commodities like food is very high. Energy is also pretty high. Fuel is very, very high, the cost. So the people are suffering. And some of those palliative measures which had been introduced by the previous government, like Kazi Mtaani, which we had said was going to be continued, have all been stopped. There's also a disappointment about non-implementation of promises which had been made during the campaign period. Things like fund for the youth, which was supposed to be interest-free, we're being told it's now going to be charging interest. And the help to the disabled, to the mamas, mamambogas and so on, is also not forthcoming.
So, that's one of the reasons why people are going to the streets. No, that's one of the reasons why Raila has called for that public gathering. I don't know how it will, I don't know the shape it will take. And I really pray that, I really hope that it's really, the protocols are set out clearly, it's prescribed well. We've seen in the past where demonstrations will be called and without the proper process of making sure that security is beefed up and they're notified, then it turns out chaotic. But if it's done well, as even the one I saw today, then that will be it. However, these protests, what William Ruto and the team are not seeing is, it is not the first time that, even since government, it is not the first time that this protest is taking. There have been different protests against government. Look at what happened with the pilots strike. It is in the corner. The doctors have also issued a 1-month notice, strike notice. That's a protest. The teachers are asking for implementation of a CBA. That's a protest. The people in Nairobi here, there have been this policy on ejecting, on making sure that pubs do not run, are not operated within the residentials. That move, I've looked at other people saying that, okay, we are removing the clubs, but the churches also in the residential places are making more noise. That move is also, I imagine, creating some protest within the CBD. So what I am actually saying is, don't box yourself and just fix your mind saying that this protest Raila wants a handshake. Number two, that this protest Raila is talking about IBC. It's true, it's IBC, but this is a platform that, this is a movement that will successfully be used to ask you the most important questions. These people are hungry. These people are hungry. They are going without food. So I have seen that diversion. You know, and that diversion of safety of business in Nairobi, you want people to do business peacefully. A strike can be peaceful. A demonstration can be very. Even today, there were a handful of some few supporters who went to parliament. They were escorted by the police. They never caused any mayhem. They went there. Then, that's how it went. So, what I have seen trying to create and to narrow that aspect to be a Raila thing, we are simply getting it wrong. That's not what it is. I wish the president gets it. I wish the president gets it. So why do you think this is finally happening? Or the concept behind it? I am not privy to it. Yes, I should not be seen as if, because I'm putting on bliss, so I am privy to everything. I'm not privy to it. But I have some four grounds that might play out. Raila is trying to build a momentum for resistance. This resistance momentum will be easy for other people to come in. I can tell you, he's just trying to create a bit of a movement for people who are dissatisfied with government. One thing I've had a privilege of speaking to three elders. I've had a privilege to speak to Koigwe Mwere, Boni Khalwale, and Ruben Kigame. People, what we have is not peace. You know what Ruto gets is wrong. What Kenya Kwanza team are getting is wrong. It's not peace. It's just an absence of war. And people are uncomfortable. And they're uncomfortable not because of Raila did not become president. They're actually uncomfortable with the way things are going. Yes. People don't have the jobs. Watu wanalia. So those are the problems that you should address, put yourself into. In fact, if I was Hossein Mohammed, I would construct a counter narrative on Raila. Instead of saying it's about handshake or so, you would actually construct a very good narrative that instead of going to the streets, I have decided to do this so that hustlers can get job. I have decided to do this so that I can reduce the price of hunger. You will construct it that way. Then on that, your messaging becomes a little bit convenient. But that is not it. Number two, I think it's putting Kenya Kwanza's scorecard in for public scrutiny. Because the messaging in these places, as far as it's also about election reforms, but it also puts the government of the day in the radar. Whether what that was going to be achieved is it, I'm looking at it personally. I will try to gauge public perception, even though this one even government is gauging, because the new pay bill that has been released by the drought response team, the fundraisers, they also want to know, apart from just gauging money, collecting money, they will also know the level of loyalty, the patriotism threshold. They will use it because when you see you've shared a pay bill and someone is sending as little as 10 bob, as 5, as 2, as what, really the Kenyan people are, the position of the Kenyan people, how they're patriotic to the government of the day. That donation is not only on generosity, but that donation is also on the patriotism. People just donate because I love my country, I love the people of Turkana. So it's this also gauging that public perception. And what should worry the president is Raila's move is likely to consolidate the voices of betrayal in the political space. There are many people that feel betrayed in government, even in the executive. Musalia Mudavadi is unhappy with how things are running. And he has shown publicly that, look here, let's work, let's stop the blame game. So there are many other loose ends, and even in terms of realignments and jobs, people are missing out. And huwezi furahisha kila mtu. So all those voices of discontent will comfortably go and be consolidated under that. I don't know what to take. But ladies and gentlemen, I have a feeling that that perception or that narrative about Handshake and Raila is a bit divisive, and it's not addressing the real problem. The real problem why people might likely gather and respond to such a move is because they feel things are not going right.